Hey, it's Chris here. What are some healthy ways that Christians can engage in the social and political discourse that's going on in our country? In a lot of my videos, I've talked about the unhealthy ways. I've talked about how evangelical leaders have compromised the Christian faith for the sake of power and influence and wealth. I've talked about how Christians are betraying the biblical Christian faith in their support of Donald Trump. But I remembered this past week, as I was reflecting on this more and more, something that a professor of mine once said back when I was in graduate school. I had written a paper in which I pointed out all the flaws and what was wrong with a very popular theological belief in the United States. In fact, it was a belief that was dominant in the church that I was going to be an assistant pastor, and I was moving in that direction. And so I had written this paper as a way to prepare myself to address the deficiencies of this theological system. And as I had finished it and as I had talked to peers and everything, I thought it was just an excellent paper. And it was, for me, I've had papers that I had written in graduate school. I had professors submit them for publication. So I was thinking maybe this would be a good enough paper that could be submitted for publication, and was really thinking too high of myself, really. I thought that I had really mastered the material. I thought I'd written the paper well. And so I had submitted it. And then when I got the paper back, it was a B+. And it was just so discouraging that I would get a grade. I don't think I ever got like a grade like that on that kind of product output. I was used to getting A's, excellent, those kinds of things. So when I went to read the notes, what the professor wrote is said, "You have a great argument here. But if you're going to be a pastor, you can't tear away a faulty belief system from people that are holding to it sincerely and dearly and not replace it with something better founded in the Bible. And you are very good at your criticism, and you're good at seeing all the flaws in the theological system that you're critiquing. But what you're not doing in your paper is showing how you would replace it with something better and what that better thing is." And I talked to him about it, and that's why he marked me down. He said, if you want to be a scholar, that's one thing, but if you're going to be a pastor in a church, you have to recognize that you can't just yank things away from people without giving them something else that's positive in their life. You just don't want to pull beliefs out from under people without giving them something better. So if the beliefs aren't in line with the scripture, if they're engaging in unbiblical beliefs, yes, you want to address that, but you also want to give them something to replace those beliefs that will help them understand the Bible better. And one of the things I've noticed with a lot of what I've been doing on the channel so far is pointing out the flaws. What's wrong with evangelical leaders, what's wrong with evangelical Christian support of Donald Trump, how it's bad for Christianity, how it can be hurtful and how it can be harmful. But on the other side of that is, well, what do we replace it with? What is a healthy way for evangelical Christians to interact in the world? How do we interact in our current social and political environment? What does the Bible have to say? How can we do it better than what we see from the MAGA cult, and how these evangelical leaders who are leading us astray and guiding people in the wrong direction? How can we do something better? How can we work towards a more positive, faithful to the teaching of the Bible way of following Jesus Christ in our current environment and in our current situation? I was thinking back when I was in high school, and we used to take cars and build them up, street race them, things like that. I remember there were times where maybe 4 or 5 of us were standing around a car looking at an engine. We've, listening to what's going on and everything. And we're all just good about, okay, this is what's wrong. There's something wrong here. This is what's wrong. We got to get this fixed. But then becomes the debate on how to best fix it. And one of the things that I think needs to start happening is having that debate in the comments here on other channels about how do we best fix the system that is so broken for evangelical Christians. Now, if you've made it this far and you're watching this and you're an atheist, you're agnostic, you're not an evangelical Christian, you're in another religion, and you're hearing all this, I think that there's an important role for you to play, to be part of discussions, to be able to think about your evangelical Christian neighbors, friends, family members, and how you can hold them accountable, how that you can challenge them with certain scriptures maybe that you would get on this channel and say, have you thought about this? Because as I think about it more and more, getting people out, especially those who are really deep into the MAGA cult, getting them out isn't just a matter of showing them everything they believe is wrong. We need to help encourage people to start thinking about what's positive and what's a healthy way of looking at Scripture, and begin to interact with Scripture in a positive way as well, to build a positive system so that we replace the MAGA cult with something better among evangelical Christians. Now, I am just a small channel. I probably never be a big channel. I'm probably never going to have a lot of influence. In fact, I don't want to have a lot of influence. I don't want to build a name for myself. I don't want everybody to have my name on their lips and saying, Chris said this or that, because that's just not something that drives me, and it actually kind of scares me, because I serve in small town, out of the way areas. I work bivocationally for a reason, and because I'm just very averse temperamentally. I'm a pretty outgoing guy and everything, but I just don't like the spotlight on myself. I just don't want to be this well-known person or personality. I feel very awkward. The reason why I like working bivocationally is that I like earning my living, not depending on the church, because I don't ever want to have this, get in this system or get in this mindset where I'm wanting more and more, whatever my family financial needs are, and we don't live an expensive lifestyle at all, but I just don't want to feel like I have to keep making more out of Christians and out of the church to get that. So even spending more time on this channel, I just kind of averse to it. So I think what I'm saying is it's going to depend on some of you. If I say anything helpful and anything useful, those of you who are watching videos, those of you who are commenting on the channel, feel free to steal anything that I have. If I have any good idea or any good thoughts, feel free to steal it and broadcast it widely. I don't need credit. I just want to see a healthier environment where evangelical Christians are responding to society and culture and politics in a much better way than we are now, in a way that brings more credibility to the gospel, that exalts Jesus Christ, where we are good neighbors in a post-Christian society, where we don't need to be the culturally dominant belief, where we're content just being ambassadors of Jesus Christ wherever we are. And that's what I'm hoping for. And again, I don't need any credit. I'm not looking for wealth. I'm not looking for fame. I just really want to see things change. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll be posting some more videos in the coming days that are more nurse focused, taking off my preacher hat, putting on my nurse hat, to talk a little bit about the increasingly evident signs of dementia in Donald Trump, but also some of the cognitive issues that we see in Joe Biden as well, and comparing and contrasting them from my own clinical experience. So we'll be doing that. So stay tuned, keep watching videos if you want to. I appreciate it so much. God bless.